It's interesting, Andy, because I don't know what number this is for me for the ANAs, but it's a lot, and I've seen the sentiments from marketers really evolve about audio over the years. You go back 5, 10 years ago, it was very much a one-dimensional radio channel, which is fine, but it was fairly simple, and marketers sort of were throwing a little bit of money at audio. Now, with still a lot of consumption being done in a linear radio fashion, but then the explosion of streaming and podcasts and audiobooks, there's a lot of optionality for marketers now, and that's what I hear. I mean, I think that the reason for all the interest in audio lately is because marketers realize, hey, this is a new game, and now I can really, be creative in the audio channel. And the other thing I hear a lot is, the audio, for marketers, audio is caught up to video. What used to be a limitation for audio, where we didn't have programmatic channels, we didn't have very good targeting of audience or attribution on the back end, that's all in place now. So that's what excites a lot of the folks here.
So tell us sort of the flavors for the buy side and what programmatic through DSPs or direct orders, or what does the marketplace look like?
One of the things that I'm proud of, Andy, in my prior life at Spotify, 2015, 2016, a programmatic audio channel didn't exist. So we had to build it, and we partnered with a couple of the big SSPs, Rubicon at the time, now Magnite, PubMatic. We also partnered with some of the big DSPs, the Trade Desk and Google, and we said, hey, let's start something. And we basically built the piping for programmatic audio to launch. And that has really evolved, 5, 6 years later, to now, programmatic audio is a big channel. So you have open market, private market, programmatic-guaranteed audio. So once again, it gives the marketers here so many options, whether they want to work with us on a direct I/O basis or on an automated basis. So that, I think we've caught up quite a bit to video that way.
Now, has the industry caught up on the creative side, the agencies and the creative that works, and it must be different, there's so many outlets, and of course, advertising and podcasts is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Tell us about the creative side, the kinds of units that you're seeing,
Sure.
and what's coming
So
up.
I think what's happened over the years, and it's been a couple of trends. One is the long form audio unit, the 60-second audio unit that we might remember from many years ago. While some of that still exists, it's become much shorter. So like the 30 and the 15-second audio unit has really taken over, quite a bit, because let's face it, a consumer, doesn't want to hear a 60-second video or audio unit. So I would say short form has gotten, and even there's a lot of experimentation with 5-second audio units, so like real short form. But the short form trend has, I think, been a big deal. I think testing different creative, back to audio catching up to the rest of the media industry, testing a lot of different creative is something that's hot now too. So hey, let's beta test this versus that. So you've got 3 or 4 sets of creative that can be activated, and one is going to provide a much different return, than another. So that's a big trend right now, and you've got companies out there that are really specializing in various audio creative. And as the medium has become much more personalized and much more one-to-one, being able to serve a specific audio ad to you, Andy, a different one to me, that's real now. And
Wow.
very exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And finally, you mentioned performance earlier. How is performance measured? And performance means different things to different brand marketers, but give us an overview of how you kind of tabulate, or how the impact is reported.
Yeah, so I think if we think about the traditional marketer funnel, right, upper funnel, bottom funnel, at the top with brand consideration and intent, we can prove those outcomes now on and so marketers, obviously, they need proof. If it's the age-old, if you can't prove it, you're wrong. So we can now prove upper funnel. We can also prove bottom funnel. We can prove a sale now. That's something, back to audio catching up to the rest of the media industry. We couldn't do that 5 years ago. So what I'm proud of, as somebody who's been in the audio space for 30 years, we can now prove outcomes from the top to the bottom of the funnel. And so what's happened is it's allowed us to open up and work with performance-based marketers that we really had a hard time doing not that long ago. So we're finding a lot of D2C brands are coming in because we can now have proof of that performance. So I think if you're a brand marketer, a lot of upper funnel. If you're a performance marketer, a lot of bottom funnel. And obviously there's in between there. So it's allowed us to expand the amount of work we're doing with various marketers. Once again, I think as a reason of us catching up to the rest of the industry.